Xibalba. It is a land of nightmares and horrors in all too many ways. Populated by the bat-winged Zoots, Xibalba is a cavern realm, and its inhabitants are well adopted to it. Their sight has almost completely atrophied, and they navigate their cavernous realm with high-pitched shrieks, using sound and smell to find their way in the pitch darkness of their caves. But it would be a mistake to see them as mere animals. For whilst they are certainly savage when compared to the more civilized human realms of the world, the Xibalbans have much ancient and forbidden knowledge, stolen in large part from those very selfsame surface dwellers. But the Xibalbans have a talent for it, adept in the arts of blood magic and skilled in sniffing out those with the sweet blood required to fuel it. Xibalba can draw on powerful allies from the many lower realms. And this is a very good thing indeed, for the Zoots are not made for fighting. They are primitive, and most of them wear little more than strips of cloth to protect their dignity and precious little health. Their atrophied sight, whilst no hindrance in the pitch-dark caves, is quite the problem on the battlefield in the light of day. And even their most sacred of warriors, the Sun Guides, can only compare favourably to the more mundane warriors of the upper realms. But even these somewhat mediocre warriors are limited by their sacred nature. They are few and far between. And so the average Zoot is essentially a half-naked humanoid wielding usually a long pointed stick or a heavy club. Some of the more effective Zoot fighters, in fact, are not Zoots at all, but some amongst the numbers of the cave dwellers have taken to raising the ginormous scorpions that dwell on the cavern floor, and in virtually all cases, these beasts of war will prove far abler combatants than their Zoot masters. But so as to not disappoint their new cavern-dwelling god in Agartha, the Zoots will use all of their knowledge to fashion an army of some use to them. The Zoots, as mentioned, wield light lancers and can, at a pinch, annoy an enemy just about long enough for their units of demonic ocelotls, winged monster jaguars, to tear through the enemy ranks. And boy, are they effective at it. For all the lack of quality so very evident amongst the Zoots' regular units, their summons more than make up for it. They also have access to the Unaqui, a summonable demonic being. It costs everything, but it is a rather exceptional blood caster, and seeing as virtually all of Xibalba's combat prowess comes from blood summons, that is very fortunate indeed, along with the Itzers, that have a talent in searching out blood slaves. As for their troops, well, the Xibalban warrior is not worth much, if indeed anything, but in sufficient numbers they can be a mild nuisance. The warriors with their two-handed clubs are of little more consequence, giving up the one advantage the Zoots have, their superior winged mobility and the benefits that this gives to using a long stone lance. Yes, stone lance, as in flint-tipped. No metal here. And the Xibalban dart throwers, well, let's not talk about the Xibalban dart throwers. The Sun Guards, as mentioned, they are by far the finest combatants of Xibalba, although that does not necessarily say much. And then, of course, the Scorpions. Useful once corralled in large enough numbers due to their multiple attacks and poison, and the fact that in most cases they are too stupid to run away. A most worthwhile attribute, considering the lack of attributes in many other fashions. But the real gift of Xibalba lies in their magic. The Camazorts are entirely adept wielders of death and blood magic, a path that opens up some interesting possibilities, including the creation of vampiric servants. And the Archeans as well, with their control over fire, can summon the more burning entities of the lower realms. And even the more mundane amongst them, like the Ahnokam, they can be very adept battle wizards with the correct equipment. They are capable of leeching the lifeblood from enemy warriors at great range with but a single magical artifact to enhance their control over blood magic. They are also capable of pushing out their dominion, the faith in their god, by carrying out vast and grisly blood sacrifices. The only downside, of course, is that if you rely upon blood for your economy, you're going to have to actually acquire that blood from somewhere. The Xibalbans are not kind masters, and anyone who finds themselves beneath their wings, well, I would certainly encourage everyone to lock away their uglier daughters and prettier livestock, for the Xibalban war machine is in ever need of blood, in the most literal sense. And so villages and towns will be frequently patrolled at night by gangs of armed men, mercenaries, and warriors escorting blood priests around to claim their taxes in blood as well as gold. The Xibalban plan for this game is quite simple. Demons. Many demons. Lots of demons. And until the point where the demons become viable, absolutely unimaginable quantity of naked Zoots. For whilst one Zoot is not a threat to even the most modestly armed of peasants, 50 Zoots, all screaming down from the heavens above with their lances pointed in the general direction of the enemy, that will make a mess of something. It will leave a lot of Zoot carcasses behind as well, but, well, their economy runs on blood after all. They're not at all shy about spilling it. If you want to see how that strategy works out, again, you're going to have to look at the videos that will be upcoming very soon, detailing the Great War in the Heavens. Until then, I have been Arch. Thank you all very much for watching, and I hope you'll stick with me through the Dominion series. Have a good day.